I'd like to thank Don, the CEO of Community Colleges Australia, and all representatives of the adult and community education sector for the invitation to address you today. This is an important forum for you to gather, to listen to each other, and share ideas about the future direction of your roles in the adult education sector. I'm pleased to report that the network of New South Wales ACE providers remains strong. From Bondi to Broken Hill, Batemans Bay to Byron, Barraba to Bathurst, Liverpool to Leetland and Maitland to Murwillumbah, the scope of delivery across the state is one to be recognised and applauded. Community Colleges Australia and the ACE providers work hard to deliver quality adult training in New South Wales. Thank you all for the hard work that you do. Last year, the New South Wales Government issued a state ACE policy statement, and I look forward to building on that this year. I acknowledge that each ACE provider is delivering key support through the ACE program to our disadvantaged students across New South Wales and students in regional and remote communities that significantly experience barriers to training and employment. I also recognise the ongoing challenges experienced by the sector since 2019. Each of drought, bushfires, floods and COVID-19 have had varying adverse impacts. Each year, Community Colleges Australia reports on how the state's ACE providers play an important role in servicing vulnerable and disadvantaged communities in New South Wales. ACE providers consistently play a significant role in reaching and engaging First Nations people, regional and rural, economically disadvantaged and older learners. They have the highest proportion of female learners of any skills provider group. I commend the significant role the three ACE providers play in the Northern Rivers region, especially for their ongoing support during the recent flooding disaster. The students and staff and community colleges of ACE colleges, Byron Bay Community College and North Coast Community College have all been impacted and will take time to recover. The ACE Community College Lismore campus is facing a rebuild of the site, along with the rest of central Lismore. I'm working closely with the Premier and other state agencies to ensure the region has the skills support needed to rebuild the infrastructure. Despite the physical damage, the emotional and psychological impacts on staff and students is also at the forefront of our consideration. Their response personifies so much of what community-based adult education is about: community. And the New South Wales Government will continue to work with ACE colleges as we rebuild in the coming weeks, months and years. The last 2 years have been tough for training providers and even tougher for students. As we continue to reopen, we need our training providers to be ready to engage with students, businesses and communities. Current support includes grants totaling $4 million to assist in responding to challenges presented as a result of COVID-19 across 2020 and 2021, adjusting the 2020 to 2021 contract to ensure that no ACE provider was disadvantaged, further aligning the department's position of supporting the ACE sector to meet unprecedented circumstances faced due to the pandemic, and amending the 2021 to 22 ACE provider contract to give colleges greater flexibility on how they use their funding, including for infrastructure, maintenance, and more non-accredited training. The New South Wales ACE strategy contributes to the New South Wales Government's priorities for well-connected communities, with quality local environments and breaking the cycle of disadvantage. The strategy also defines our shared goals and actions for community education providers in New South Wales to contribute to lifelong learning, well-being and lifting literacy and numeracy levels, and facilitate open discussion between government, Community Colleges Australia and member colleges within the sector to develop a customer-centric approach for engagement, ultimately improving the service provided to students across the ACE program. We all face constant change and we must continue to work together in a flexible and adaptive way. The ACE sector has demonstrated these very attributes in effectively reinventing the delivery of adult education in response to COVID-19 and will continue too, as some of the colleges recover from the devastation of the floods. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the summit.